On Christmas Day 2010, East Side Bolen Parque 13 and Mexican Mafia gang member Albert Puppet Vargas would issue an order that those he had deemed as betrayers be killed on sight. The rule violation they committed was participating in MSNBC's very popular and famous show at the time called Lockdown. Vargas was loyal to the leader Peter Sana Ojeda, a very well-known and influential Mexican Mafia member who around this time was going through a power struggle of his own. The feds would wrap up almost 100 gang members in an operation called Black Flag and caught the two on a federal wiretap on April 30th, 2011, discussing orders that Peter Sana Ojeda gave to Puppet Vargas to kill a fellow gang member, Armando Moreno, who was trying to wrestle away power from Ojeda.
Stab like the Navy, we got toys like a COD. She on my young hitters, motherfucker, better ask about me. Jiggy beats, gang flamed up, this the bone in these. Most hated gang when you walking through the SUV. Better have you dirty when you sliding through these brownies. You can watch a certified, I be feeling like the
So gang members need to wise up, wake up, or face these very serious consequences. And in today's crackdown, as we have done in the past in partnering with our partners at the state, federal, and local level, we are using the tools in our arsenal, such as RICO, wiretaps, and have been successfully partnering up and using that local law enforcement know-how to reach those gang leaders who thought, quite frankly, that they were untouchable.
It was Saturday afternoon in January 1992 when Peter Sana Ojeda delivered a message to hundreds of gangsters at El Salvador Park: stop the drive-by shootings. Gang killings were on the rise in Orange County, and bringing rival gangs together seemed nearly impossible. But Ojeda had the respect and the reputation. Ojeda was Orange County's Mexican Mafia leader. For the next several months, Ojeda held a series of peacekeeping meetings to end the violence. Some civic leaders applauded his effort, but law enforcement officials suspected that by ordering drive-by shootings to stop, he was establishing not just control in drug sales, but in gang violence as well. Those who refused to obey Mexican Mafia were assaulted and killed. In 1993, Ojeda was charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. That year, Santa Ana detectives investigated 48 gang killings. Ojeda's grip on Orange County streets continued from inside prison walls. Ojeda was paroled in 2000. 5 years later, he was sent to federal prison after pleading guilty to racketeering and was sentenced to serve 14 years. In July, the 68-year-old Ojeda was again named in a federal indictment, which claims he continued to exercise control of Orange County gangs from federal prison. Reporting for the Orange County Register, I'm Denise Salazar.
Authorities hope Operation Black Flag sends a message to gang members.
This is serious prison time. As many of you may know, in the federal system, defendants serve 85% of that time. And they serve that time in prisons far away from Orange County. So gang members need to wise up, wake up, or face these very serious consequences.
The multi-agency operation brought together more than 500 officers to execute arrest and search warrants Wednesday morning, the result of a multi-year investigation by the Santa Ana Gang Task Force.
Today we are here because federal prosecutors in my office unsealed a series of 5 federal grand jury indictments designed to deliver a staggering and comprehensive blow to the Mexican Mafia organization in Orange County and to Forming Chaos, a Costa Mesa street gang associated with the Mexican Mafia. Taken as a whole, the 5 federal indictments paint a chilling portrait of criminal activity and mayhem ranging from extortion to rent collection to conspiracy to commit murder and the distribution of heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine. The defendants in the 5 federal indictments face lengthy prison sentences. Many of the defendants named in these indictments face potential life sentences, and those defendants that are charged with narcotics trafficking offenses face mandatory federal sentencing guidelines that will put them in prison for a number of years if they are convicted.
During today's searches, investigators found heroin packaged for sale, drug paraphernalia, $10,000 in cash, and other evidence which we collected.
A number of guns were also seized in the raid.
We had 38 guns taken during this investigation and about 6 or 7 taken today. So that's 45 guns off the street.
The Orange County District Attorney's Office has filed 7 criminal complaints against 26 defendants in 7 cases involving 7 different victims in Operation Black Flag.
District Attorney Tony Rakaka said he hoped today's raid also sends a message to parents.
Parents, you need to take responsibility. You need to start looking at those kids. If they're looking like gang members, pants dragging on the ground, acting like gang members, don't accept this idea that, well, it's just the style at school. Come on. Parents, you have responsibility in this. You've got to stop that from happening. The more those kids act like gang members and want to be gang members, the more likely it is they'll become gang members and they'll enter in on this path of life.
Rob Whitfield for OCRegister.com.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Greenlit Gang TV. Hope y'all having a blessed weekend. But before we jump into it, you already know what you got to do, man. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It goes a very long way for the growth of this channel. If you've been following at all, then you know a few videos ago I stated the new goal is 30,000 subscribers. Hope to get there whenever, man. Whenever we get there, we will get there. And that's because of each and every one of you. So again, thank you for the continued support. We're going to be sticking with the same theme today. Albert Puppet Vargas from Barrio East Side Bolen Parque, located in Baldwin Park, right? It's kind of in the central San Gabriel Valley region of LA County. Puppet Vargas, all right? Made Mexican Mafia member, big supporter of a guy we've covered on this channel a long time ago, Peter Sana Ojeda, a guy that's kind of viewed in that godfatherly type image, right? Old school guy, was around for a very long time, has a very famous clip that I put on here where he's basically at a park talking, moments looks like he's praying, and people are listening, right? To say the least. People are hanging on to every word he speaks. And Albert Puppet Vargas, who's a made guy, very, very loyal to Peter Sana Ojeda. When there was a power struggle that went on, and we're going to get into that, he backed him up to the fullest. And then what was really interesting about Albert Puppet Vargas was during that, and I remember watching it, man, growing up, lockdown, right? Lockdown extended stay on National Geographic. The one of those episodes, you guys comment down below what episode you guys remember. I remember a couple of them, right? The ones that stick out to me were the Aryan Brotherhood one, where they had Michael Thompson. I think he's back in prison for like a white collar crime, did some fraud. I remember him standing in a cell showing how you attack somebody in a knife fight, right? And they interviewed the AB guys. And then the other one I remember is the black guy. I forget what prison he was in, but they were talking about like helicopter rides. They had a name for him. It was like life flight out of wherever, right? I think he was a Crip gang member. I don't know why I remember him. You go on YouTube, you can find all these, but I just remember lockdown. And then they did the Orange County, the jails. They did all the county jails, the prisons. It was just super, super interesting. But basically Puppet Vargas during this time, saw some of his fellow gang members, guys that were underneath him, guys that answered to him, participate in these documentaries and said, hey, what the hell are you doing? This is violating everything that we stand for. You're not supposed to put us on Front Street. You're not supposed to bring attention to the gang. You're supposed to put your nose down, work, do what we tell you, and not, project this, not put this out there on Front Street. And he basically ordered that anybody that participated in these documentaries was to be killed on sight. We're going to be reading from my favorite social media page when it comes to this kind of content, and that's Prison Chronicles. I shout them out all the time. Go check them out. Albert Puppet Vargas, and this is their piece on it, their post. Albert Puppet Vargas from Baldwin Park, California, was arrested in a major 2011 operation. It was dubbed Operation Black Flag, which targeted high-ranking Mexican Mafia members and associates in Orange County. Authorities described Vargas as a high-up in the organization. According to a federal indictment, his role included issuing orders, such as one for the killing of inmates who had violated the gang's code of conduct by appearing on a news program. And that news program was MSNBC's Lockdown or Lockup. He was charged with racketeering, influence, a corrupt organization conspiracy, better known as RICO, and violent crimes and native racketeering. The investigation that led to his arrest was a 30-month effort to dismantle Mexican Mafia operations. It's like, they always put the big number up, right? 99, 100 gang members arrested. Only a handful of them were Mexican Mafia members, right? Baldwin Park is located in the central San Gabriel Valley region of LA County. It is approximately 18 miles west of downtown LA. The city covers an area of about 7 square miles of land, okay? And the rest is like water. It is located just northwest of West Covina and southwest of Azusa. Also has a very heavy gang presence, right? Little side note, I don't want to call it a fun fact, but interesting fact is Baldwin Park is home to the very first In-N-Out burger stand, okay? And it's basically now, it says in here it's California's most iconic hamburger stand. I would argue it's one of the country's most iconic hamburger stands. Barrio Eastside Bolen Parque 13. Now, I will say this, doing research on Puppet Vargas, majority of posts said that he was from Eastside Bolen Parque 13. I did, just to be straight up with you guys, see a couple that said he was from Northside Bolen Parque 13. But again, when I was really reading through, it seemed like he was from Eastside Bolen Parque 13. If anybody listening to me knows better for a fact, please don't just guess, or if you are kind of guessing, talk or comment how I'm kind of putting this out there, right? Okay, but I'm going with he's from Eastside Bolen Parque 13. Eastside Bolen Parque 13 is the biggest gang in the city of Baldwin Park. They started around the mid-70s. Their oldest clique is called the Charros. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but the Charros. Charros. And their other cliques are called the Rascals, Locos, Midget Charros, and Dukes. They have a lot of enemies in the surrounding area, and these are some of their main rivals. NS Bolen Park, Northside Bolen Park, El Monte Flores, Kings Have Arrived, and Azusa Rifa. Some of these gangs, man, we've covered. These are big cliques. I've covered Azusa. I've covered El Monte Flores a couple times. Monrovia, I've mentioned. We just covered a Mexican Mafia case where two of the hitters were both from Monrovia. And some cliques of Puente 13, who we've covered. Some of their cliques use a green rag due to some prison problems. They have aided in making Kings Have Arrived a vadio, and this is interesting, around 05 to 06. But now, they're 100% deadly rivals. A little bit of background on that. Okay, Operation Black Flag. On July 13th, 2011, Santa Ana, California, is where this press release is coming out of. Operation Black Flag, stumbling through this. Operation Black Flag led to the arrest of dozens of suspected Mexican Mafia gang members. FBI SWAT team members used flash grenades to surprise the suspects inside a home in Orange County at around 6 a.m. Other arrests were made at the same time in other parts of Santa Ana, Riverside, and in LA County. More than 30 were arrested in total. ABC 7's exclusive video showed heavily armed teams picking up the men in custody. Alberto Vargas, 47, nicknamed the Puppet, was arrested in Santa Ana. Donald Sluggo Aguilar, 51, was arrested. Authorities consider both men high up in the Mexican Mafia organization. A quantity of heroin, 45 guns, and thousands of dollars in cash were seized during Wednesday's raids. The raid was a culmination of a 30-month, man, that's a long time. That's 2.5 years. 30-month investigation of area Mexican Mafia-affiliated gangs and drug dealers. Authorities said they have had alleged gang members under surveillance in prison and outside watching their actions, because as we know, the orders are coming from prison. The Mexican Mafia is considered to be the oldest, most powerful prison gang in the U.S. The Mexican Mafia, both in prison and on the street, are basically calling the shots when it comes to narcotic sales, extortion. If you're doing business in their neighborhoods, they expect payment, said Santa Ana Police Corporal Anthony Bertagna. Peter Ojeda, the big homie, already in prison, faces additional charges, including racketeering, engaging in conspiracies to commit murder, extortion, and drug trafficking. Quote, his influence, unfortunately, over the Orange County Hispanic gangs was quite significant, giving him the nickname of, quote, the big homie, said U.S. Attorney Andre Barat Jr. Britannia said they are trying to take out the leadership in an effort to end the criminal enterprise. Well, you're never going to end the criminal enterprise. I'm just going to be straight up with you. You're never going to end it. It's going to end if the prison gangs like Mexican Mafia, Aryan Brotherhood, or these other ones that run the show are going to end. It will never come from law enforcement. It just won't. It's going to come from the inside. It's going to come from gangs on the street going, we're done. We're not answering to you guys anymore. We're cutting it off, right? But they all have to say that. They all have to agree to do that. Do I think it'll happen anytime soon? No, I don't. Basically, it's like to cut the head off the snake, he said. Officials say nearly 60 people are facing charges, including racketeering, narcotics sales, and weapons sales. Federal, state, local authorities made the announcement together during a news conference in Santa Ana. The investigation began in 2008. Deputies intercepted messages intended for other gang members. Through the use of investigative techniques, sheriff's personnel collected approximately 2,300 pieces of evidence, said Orange County Sheriff Sandra Hutchins. Alberto Puppet Vargas continued his charges: racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization conspiracy, violent crimes, and aid of racketeering. And I thought this was interesting. He issued an order on Christmas Day 2010 that all Orange County inmates who were interviewed on the MSNBC show Lockdown were to be killed. It, quote, violated the code of conduct of the Mexican Mafia. According to the indictment, 2 inmates and Theo Lacey were assaulted within the week. And then on April 30th, 2011, the indictment states he spoke on the phone with the big dog man, Peter Ojeda. The indictment claims Ojeda instructed Vargas to inform other members of the Mexican Mafia that Armando Moreno was to be killed. And I put his picture up. And Armando Moreno, just to kind of give you a little on him, he was also charged in the RICO, right? And this was this infighting, this in-struggle that Peter Sana Ojeda had, where basically people were trying to wrestle power from him. According to the federal indictment and law enforcement sources, Moreno is believed to have attempted to wrestle power from Peter Ojeda beginning in May of 2007. The two are believed to have been aligned at some time. The rivalry is believed to have led to years of tension within the Orange County Mexican Mafia. The indictment states that Moreno allegedly ordered supporters of Ojeda to be murdered, placing them on a, quote, hard candy list, including Tyrone Wright, Joe Lara, and Donald Aguilar. And our guy, Puppet Vargas, was very loyal to Peter Sana Ojeda. He was calling a lot of shots, man. I just thought it was an interesting story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm a little tired, not going to lie. But we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep going. And life's hard, guys. It is what it is. And just really quick, sometimes I don't talk about it enough, I feel like. But going to end it with this. Life is hard, but it is what you make it. You take one day at a time, and you do what you can as a man or a woman. You take each day for what it is. You control what you can control. And for me, as a religious person, I leave the rest to God. If you're not a religious person, that's okay. You believe in what you believe in, and whatever works for you works for you. No judgment here. But for me, I control what I can control each and every day. I'm a firm believer in one day at a time. That's just me. I'm a firm believer in one day at a time, and kind of let the chips fall where they may. Much love, guys. Really appreciate the support. It's fun so far. This ride of the channel and everything's been awesome. Peace.